Tell me something about rich people that 99% of people don't know.
Poor people look at things that they can consume. Middle class look at buying stuff that improves their credit score. Rich people, when they look at money, they're looking at things that they can buy that's going to make them money.
So Monday morning, and we are getting started. It's 10 minutes till 8, and we got about 800 on the list, something like that. Maybe 900 if I can incorporate this one other one. I'm not sure. I got a few other little things I need to do too. I need to drop this tire off at the tire shop. I need to pick up a check that I never did pick up last week from one of my commercial customers. And it's like $1,100, man, so I need to go and get that money. Yeah, we'll do this one first. Alright, I ain't got time to keep it going. Okay, so I got the front yard cut on that one. Toby's doing the back, and he's gonna wrap that one up. I'm headed on, and that's the one in my neighborhood, so it looks like we're gonna be pretty much getting back to normal. We had rain. We had a good rain on, what day was it? I think it was Friday night. We had a real good rain, and finally, and then it's rained like the last 2 nights. Not a lot, but it rained on Friday night for about 2 hours that I know of. And we're having all kind of little pop-up showers in the evening time, so like it rained last night, it rained the night before last, so not a lot, but enough to wet the ground and, you know, keep it moist so the grass can grow. But so we're pretty much trying to get back to normal now, and this is when we're going to start paying the piper, well, the other half of paying the piper on all the yards we skip, because we're not actually paying money, but we're actually going to be taking more time to do the properties. So because they're going to be bad. You know, it's been what? Well, we got some rain about 5 days ago, and then we got good rain about 3 days ago, and then the last 2 days we've gotten, so all the grass is really, everything is turning green now, and that's what you want, right? So yeah, we got on the list, we're trying to stay on the same schedule. You know, we're doing the same yards on the same day. I didn't, you know, go in and try to fill in a bunch of stuff last week, so because that throws the routing all off, and then once your routing gets all screwed up, it takes a minute to get it all back in order. And I've learned that, I know that, and since I know that, then I don't let it happen. Not hardcore. So we skipped some last week that we could have done. So now all the ones that we're doing now, other than the commercial ones, it'll be 4 weeks since we've done them. So that's what I'm talking about. So not only did we lose the money on it last rotation, but we're also going to lose time on it this rotation. See, I mean, I thought he ain't cutting the roadside, man. You got to get up on the road, dude. Yeah, we're gonna be over that one anyway, so it don't really matter. But we got a pretty good list today. It's so I'm going out here to 2 by the interstate, and then Toby's gonna be all around here. We got about 10 on here, I think. So, but we're all the ones that Toby's gonna be doing. They're all within 3 or 4 miles of my house. Gonna be kind of just, you know, we're just happy that it rained, and grateful that we're able to go to work now and keep the money flowing in. And to be honest, that one tree job that we did a couple weeks ago, where I took out that pine tree, that one job really negated all the lawns that we didn't do. So we didn't take a hit on the money. We are going to take a hit on the time, I'm sure. We already have. The one that Toby did on Friday, it took a lot longer than normal. So some of the ones that we're going to do this week is going to take a lot more than normal. So yeah, I got a couple I need to look at on the way to doing what we're doing. So I might pencil one in over here. But it looks like they're all going to need it, man. The only one I'm thinking about that I'm not sure of is this one right here, and it's $120. So let me. I want to look at that one. Damn, Chuck, you just gonna pull right on out there, ain't you? Let's see what it's looking like. See. Yeah, we could cut that one too. So yeah. But I know the tire shop's going to be busy this morning, but I'm going to go and drop the tire off, and then they can, it's the tire on the equipment trailer, so, and it's like the tire that I have is, I think that the rim got bent. I think I went up on a curb is what I think. Sometimes you gotta be calculating when you're pulling that big old long trailer, man. But we'll see. You can't never tell until they actually do it. The rim is bent, but I've seen rims bent a lot more than that. I'm not worried about having to replace the rim at this point. I don't think I'll have to replace it, but you never know. So let's just get this tire dropped off. I ain't in no hurry. It's always good to have a tire shop for the trailer stuff. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. I did as good as I could have, I guess. I'm still alive and kicking it, y'all. Let's just get on out here. If we can get the 900 today, that'll be great. But if we do everything on the list, and then my calculating skills, I don't know, man. All right, y'all, so it's already starting. I already had one person bail on me. It's a 60, so it's one we're not gonna do. But I'm incorporating all the commercials. See, one thing about the commercial stuff is you can feed on that. And I'm not saying I don't have enough commercial work to support me, but you can feed on that commercial stuff even when it's a little bit dry, or if borderline needs it, it's going to get cut because they make money and they want to keep the rotation going. And they don't want me to get off rotation either, because then they get skipped, and I don't want to get off rotation because when I start skipping, I start being really inefficient. So I told Toby to be watching his phone today, because everything, this is the first time that this is the first day that we're back at work since we got a good rain about 3 weeks ago. So now over here, I usually have Toby come and help me on these two, but it ain't necessary today. Well, it ain't necessary really ever, but sometimes a lot of times I have other stuff I have to do besides mow grass. I know you guys see the channel and y'all like, man, you work all the time, and I do. Yeah, it seems like it. But I'm always, while I'm working, I'm taking care of stuff too. I'm making phone calls, I'm dropping tires off, I'm picking up parts, I'm PRing, if you will. So somebody got to. Now over here is going to be well, pretty easy. I'm going to try to get the owner over here. It's a commercial site too. Well, there are two residentials, but they're owned by a commercial company. I'm going to try to get the owner of the commercial company to let me bring the skid steer over here and do some real cleaning. I got some text messages from them I'm going to read when I get over here. I want to look at it and make sure that I'm reading it right. So yeah, labor work. When you got ivy like you got here, y'all see all the ivy? When you got ivy like this, there's always gonna be shit falling on the ground and limbs breaking off and debris like this, always. And sometimes some of the owners are more OCD about it than others, and these are rentals. So look right here, y'all. Look at these two pine trees. Y'all see them? They've been struck by something. That's they got hit by something. They've been a wreck over here. That tree right there is hit too, and then the ground's all marked up. Somebody done, how in the hell did they hit somebody came up and, boy, that's bad, man. But what I normally do is over here is I cut me a spot right here, this green part right here, and then what I'll do is I will I'll park. That's where I'll park the truck. And this lady right here, she's a renter, right? And so she, on the first cut over here, and I did a video on the first cut over here, it was terrible because the owner, the property sat empty for about 3 months, and the owner wasn't having me come during the winter at all. So then he finally rented it out to somebody, you know, I guess it was March or so, April. And everything was starting to grow because it's fescue grass down there, and you know, fescue ain't gonna grow right now hardcore. It's fescue and trashy grass down there. But the weeds were all in the damn beds, and I mean, it was terrible. I spent like 2.5 hours over here, and she complained, and then she complained to the owner. But what she did not know was that, well, number one, the owner has about 20 rentals. And number two, I've been doing work for the owner for about 12 years. So she thought that, you know, that she was, I don't know, running me under the gun or whatever. And the owner called, of course the owner tells me, hey, you know, she said this and she said that. But see, the owner knows me. And he knows that what she's saying is probably half-truths, you know. She was just trying to get him to take money off the rent. That's all that was. And so when I came back over here after she complained, I came back, you know, in 2 weeks because, you know, the first cut of the season, it ain't never pretty, especially on a yard you ain't been to in 4 or 5 months. And they're not paying a cleanup fee. They're not paying me to come clean it up. They're just paying me to maintain the yard. So what I do, instead of, and I should maybe charge them a cleanup, right? What I do is I just go and continue doing the yards, and for the same price that's a maintenance thing. And I don't do anything more. I might weed eat, you know, for 5 more minutes or whatever. But mainly it's just to assess everything. And the only way I get extra money on the first cut is when I spray. So the first cut, they got to take that with a grain of salt. Of course, the renter don't know the relationship that I have with the owner and the history that me and the owner have. Yeah, it's the renter over here. Yeah, they're not nice people, but you don't have to be nice. I don't give a damn. But when I came back the second time, she came out like she was gonna put me in my place and all that, right? And I'm like, she said, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm the one that called on you. Like, you know, she's telling me I'm the one that called, and if you don't do it like this, I'm going to call again. And I told her, I said, yeah, I do about 30 of their rentals, you know, and I've been working for them for 12 years. So I'm exclusively, you know, I'm the only lawn guy they got that, you know, does regular stuff. And of course, we're all replaceable, right? I know that. But she was taken aback a little bit. She said, "Oh yeah, oh you do all their lawns? How many lawns do they got?" And I said, "They got a lot. I don't really, you know." Let me see. Toby's texting me. That's the scoop. And when I told her that, I ain't seen her since. She thought, I mean, it kills me that that somebody's gonna come rent a house, you know, and they're gonna assume that everything that the renter, I mean the landlord and or anybody does, that it's all new. And I've been maintaining this property before she started renting it, and we'll be maintaining it after she's gone, right? So then of course, she goes on to tell me how neat she wants the yard kept and how clean she wants the yard kept, and the inside looks as good as the outside, and you know, all this crap, man, I don't care nothing about, you know. And then I ride around the back of the house and they got household garbage laying on the back porch and shit. I mean, like in trash bags, just piled up back there like they can't afford the trash people or whatever. But you're gonna tell me how clean and neat everything is? Come on, man. You know, that's why I get tired of people always talking about what they are, but their actions show something totally different. And of course, with me, I'm making the same money. It's the same thing, and I'm only going to jump through so many hoops that the renter tells me. Now the owner, he knows me and known me a long time, and we go way back to when he was starting out. And you know, he's not going to fire me over no renter. He's just not. He might make it where I don't cut this grass anymore. That he might do that, but he's not going to fire me overall. I'm not looking at this one little old dinky ass 20-minute property. I'm looking at the 20 other properties that I do for him, that I've been doing for him for years and years. And you know, for them, you know, everybody's replaceable, but for them to replace me, it's going to cost them a lot, because of the relationship that we built over the years and the trust factor there. Because if they hire a new landscaper, well, number one, they're not going to be as prompt as I am when it comes to them, because I value their work. I value their workload they give me. I value that. Another landscaper come in here, he ain't going to be valuing all that like I am. He's not going to be, you know, getting over there lickety split, because he would be incorporating their properties into the ones he's already doing. And he's probably going to want more money, because I think on some of the properties that I do for them, I'm pretty cheap. And it's not based on anything other than it's not costing me that much to do them, and they're regular, and they're you know, close together, blah 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 blah. Like this property right here, I'll make $200 over here, and I won't even, well, really more than that. And the good thing too about these kind of accounts is I haven't been really skipping them like I have the regular homeowner stuff. And, you know, these are considered residential properties, but to me, it's a commercial owner's property. But I got to get out and get off the driveway here so I can go and mow this piece so I can park. And all right, y'all, so y'all know I'm over here at this one. Well, the owner texted me last week. He wants us to cut this. Now, I got a video of what it looked like before everything started growing back, where he hired a company to come in here and you know, take out a few a lot of trees, dead trees, but they didn't grind no stumps. And see, he set himself up to have to spend more money. I'm not gonna put my lawnmower in there. Well, I don't want to say I won't put the lawnmower in there. I will, but we're going to talk money before I do any of that kind of stuff. That whole treetop right there, y'all see that tree? That whole treetop's laying in there. This is really skid steer type work, really. But we'll see what he says, man. I don't know. I'm probably going to want about $300 to cut this. That's just what I'm going to want. Ray, that's expensive, man. A man could go in there with a weed eater and cut all that. Yeah, I guess he could. You know, you could spend an hour over here with my bicycle handle brush cutter, and you could probably cut it all. You'd be working. But to maintain this, it's a challenge because of all the stumps and everything. See, sometimes the owners don't think about all that, because you know, I got 20 trees removed for $6,000. you know. Well, if it gave them 7, they would have grinded the stumps, making it where moving forward we can just put a lawnmower in here. But right now, I can cut this with a lawnmower, okay? I can, but I'm not going to send nobody over here to do it. And I'm going to want high hazardous mower pay is what I'm going to want, which is right below skid steer pay. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna take a couple pictures, and then I gotta cut the roadside. All right, so I got them 2 done. They're pretty easy, but they're done. So got them out of the way. Now we can focus. The rest of the week, we're pretty much gonna be all around my house. We got a lot. We got a pretty good bit to do. Getting these 2 done is a big pain because it's out of the way. Another job that we might end up doing, well, you know, before it rained the other day, you know, I'm putting feelers out for all work. It don't matter. Anything that I know how to do, you know, to make money at. So any of you guys that's been watching the channel for a long time, y'all seen some of my really old back in the day videos or whatever. I used to build fences and decks. One of my customers, they need the floor replaced on their deck, and they're calling me asking me if I know anybody. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. You know, me and Toby can do it. A little more labor than what we usually do. But if we ain't got no work, then we ain't got no work. So basically it'd be ripping up the floor of a deck, disposing of the debris, and putting a new floor down. Now, it's hard to price that kind of thing because you don't know what you're going to run into once you start pulling all the floorboards up, because the floorboards are actually really rotten. I mean, I've never even seen pressure treated wood get that bad. I think their son was living there for a few years, and he never, all the leaves just piled up on the deck, and they rotted that wood, man. And then it doesn't help, and it's just my opinion, I don't really know. I don't think it helps any to paint a deck and stain it, clear coat it or something, but as far as solid paint on it, and see, the old man that lives there now, him and his wife, he's a retired painter, so I can imagine he just, you know, has some extra paint from a job and he painted it. And that paint, yeah, I've never painted a deck. I built a bunch of them and I've never painted it. I have clear coated them, and I had to use a semi-transparent, you know, oil-based paint. But in the weather out here where I'm at, down here where I'm at, you can't be putting paint will bubble up. And well, what happens with paint is, well, it looks good for about the first year maybe, but then it starts chipping and peeling off, and yeah, and then, you know, for you to paint it again, you gotta wash it. The clear coat stuff's a lot better because you can put it on there, just spray it on. It doesn't have to be uniform or nothing, because, well, you can't see it. But you can tell when a fence has been clear coated or semi-transparent coated, you know. I don't ever paint nothing solid, not outside, not down here where I'm at. That's just, you creating a bunch of work then, because if you paint, say you paint your back porch brown, the floor, the rails, and everything, well, it's just paint. It's not a stain. You gonna catch hell getting it. Well, for you to paint it again, you gotta wash it, and it chips all off and everything. Hell no, hell to the no, man. I said hell to the no. But anyway, I want to say they're gonna give me the measurements, but I know it's about 12 foot deep from the house. but I don't know how far across the back of the house. I want to say it's about 21 feet, something like that. It's longer than 16 feet, which is what Dimension Wood is sold, as, 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot. You can get 14 foot too, and then 16 foot being the biggest that you can just go to Home Depot and buy. Anything bigger than that, you step into a whole nother element of money. So what we would do is I get the exact dimensions of the floor. Then what I can do is I can go into my CAD software and I can draw it up, and I can offset it, where none of the joints line up, the screw joints. Maybe start with a 16 footer or maybe a 10 footer and a 12 footer, and then just stagger them. Well, I'd have to look deeper into that once I got the measurements and I saw what the the retail. I mean, damn, dude, what are you doing, man? Smoking, don't put the pipe down, dog. Put it down, man. Pipe ain't no joke, man. But that might be a job that we do it. But, I don't know that I'll have time now that we got rain and like it looks like it's gonna rain again today. I love it where the ground's wet, the sun's not beaming, burning the ground up, and the water is able to sit on the ground and not get evaporated in an hour. So there's some fence builders in front of us. I built fences for a while too, but I built a lot of decks. I worked for a deck contractor for about 3 years one time when I was in my, probably 22, 23, something like that. So I got a lot of experience building decks and working with wood, and that kind of corrugates, working with steel too. If it's framed up with wood this way, then if you frame it up with steel, you can go, your spans can be longer, and that kind of thing. So it all framing's framing. Steel framing, of course, is stronger, so you don't have to have as much as wood. But I can build a deck. I mean, I can draw it up and get a materials list and everything. So in times like this, you have to be able to do a lot more than just what you're doing, probably, to make good money. You probably get by, but got to be efficient with your time. I'd be willing to bet that most rich people or people that are independently wealthy or whatever, that they at some point they were super efficient with their time management. Because to be an entrepreneur and to make a lot of money in any field, it doesn't really matter what field, you got to be a master of managing your time, because that's what everybody sells, is their time. How long does it take you to do this? How long does it take you to do that? Even if you're a real estate agent and you're selling a property, how many times did you have to go out there to show it before you actually sold it and made your commission? All these things are, your time management. So I think anybody that's wealthy, that where they worked for it and it wasn't given to them, I think that they were pretty good time managers of their own time. And a lot of times people that manage their own time really well, they can manage other people's time pretty good too. People that work under them or whatever. But yeah, so me and Toby are really good time managers on what we're doing out here. We really are. So